Hello, my friends. It is so nice to see you all, and I'm really excited to be reading our book with you today. Again, my name is Jordan, and I am your Jumpstart friend who is so excited to read A Letter to Amy. That's A Letter to Amy by Ezra Jack Keats. And Ezra Jack Keats is our author and illustrator of our book. So he wrote the words in the story as the author, and then as the illustrator, he drew all the pictures. So he drew this cover here and all the pictures inside the book. So let's see. I see our friend Peter here. We already know Peter. We already read about him in Peter's Chair. Remember, that was another one of our Jumpstart books. And I see that there's this letter here. It looks like an envelope. So the thing that you put all of your letters inside. And it's got some writing on it. And it looks like Peter's reaching for the letter. So we're gonna find out why he's reaching for this letter that's kind of in the sky over here. That's really interesting. I also see that Peter's wearing clothing that looks like a raincoat and a rain hat. And normally people wear those things when it's about to rain. So I think we're gonna find out more about the weather in this story, why he's wearing a raincoat, and then we're probably also gonna learn a lot about this letter, which I think is the letter to Amy that the book is titled after. So why don't we go ahead and find out why. I'm really wondering why Peter and this letter and these dark clouds all come together in this story. So we're gonna start reading and find out what happens to our friend Peter and probably Amy as well. It says, a letter to Amy once again. I'm writing a letter to Amy. I'm inviting her to my party, Peter announced. Why don't you just ask her? You didn't write to anyone else, said his mother. So I think this is probably Peter's mother. And he's saying, hey, why are you writing a letter to Amy, but you didn't write to other people? I think she's probably curious why he's doing that. And Peter stared at the sheet of paper for a while and said, well, this way it's sort of special. So I think that Peter's probably thinking that, maybe Amy's his best friend or his favorite friend. And he wants the invitation to be really special for her. So he's going to write her a letter so that she knows to come to his party. He's inviting her to his party so that she knows to come. He folded the letter quite a few times, put it in the envelope, and sealed it. So remember, from the cover of our book, this is the envelope, the outside that you put a letter inside of. It's kind of like the packaging that you put a letter inside of. Now I'll mail it, he said. What did you write? His mother asked. Will you please come to my birthday party? Signed, Peter. You should tell her when to come. That's what his mother said. She said, well, how is Amy supposed to know when the party is if you don't tell her? You have to write that in the invitation. So he wrote on the back of the envelope, it is this Saturday at 2. Now I'll mail it. Put on a stamp, his mother said. So the stamp is this little sticker that you have to put on all of your letters before you can mail it. That's how the post office, the place where you buy your letters, knows that you paid for it. So if you can see in this picture, there's a little sticker on the envelope in the corner. That is the stamp. Peter did, and he started to leave. Wear your raincoat. It looks like it's going to rain. So I think we were probably right about the cover, that this outfit, this rain outfit, is because it's going to rain and Peter doesn't want to get wet. He put it on and said, it looks like rain. You better stay in, Willie. And Willie, I think, is the dog right here. So he said, you better stay in, Willie. And then he ran out to mail his letter. So he told Willie to stay inside because he doesn't want Willie to get wet. Oh, what do we see here? I see a lot of dark clouds up here. And I see Peter down there wearing his rain jacket. And a lot of the time when clouds look like this, when they're really dark and gray, it means that it's about to start raining. So I think his mother was right. Walking to the mailbox, Peter looked at the sky. Dark clouds raced across it like wild horses. So the clouds were moving super fast. And he glanced up at Amy's window, which I guess must be this thing, because that's the only window that I see. And she wasn't there. Only Pepe, her parrot, sat peering down. So her parrot, this colorful bird right here, it was looking down at Peter, but Amy wasn't there. So I wonder where Amy is if she's not at her window. Well, but then look who it is. It looks like our friend Willie, the dog, followed Peter even though he told him not to. Ugh, dogs are so silly. Dogs just run around whenever they want to. And Peter said, Willie, look, he's got his hands on his hips. He said, Willie, didn't I tell you to stay home? Silly Willie. Oh, this picture looks familiar. This reminds me a lot of the picture that's on the cover, right? We see Peter and a letter. Oh my goodness, I wonder what's happening. Peter thought, what will the boys say when they see a girl at my party? Oh, so I think he's a little bit worried that the boys that he invited to his party, maybe they haven't been to a lot of birthday parties where there were girls there. Even though boys and girls can totally play together, everybody, no matter what their gender is, can go to the same parties and be friends, but maybe he's a little bit nervous because he doesn't know what his friends who are boys would think, because maybe they haven't been to birthday parties with girls before. But suddenly, there was a flash of lightning and a roar of thunder. A strong wind blew the letter out of his hand. Oh no, look at Peter's face. He looks pretty surprised and nervous probably. He said, oh my goodness, the letter blew away. What do we think he's going to do? He needs to mail the letter. I wonder what he's going to do. Peter chased the letter. He tried to stop it with his foot, but it blew away. Then it flew high into the air. So it looks like he's running around trying to catch it. He's trying really hard to get it back. And landed skipping across a hopscotch game. The letter blew this way and that. Peter chased it this way and that, but he couldn't catch it. So look, in both of these pictures, he's trying really hard. He's trying really hard to get the letter back, because I think he's really worried that it's going to fly away and he won't be able to send the invitation to Amy. Oh, wow. I see somebody else in this picture. And I wonder who that is going to be. We are going to find out. Big drops of rain began to fall. So it's starting to rain. Oh no. Well, it's a good thing that he's wearing his raincoat, right? So that he doesn't get wet. Just then, someone turned the corner. It was Amy. Oh my goodness, that's Amy. So I guess she was outside. Maybe she was at this laundry store or something, maybe. And that's why she wasn't home. It was Amy. She waved to him. The letter flew right toward her. She mustn't see it or the surprise will be spoiled. So Peter's thinking in his head that he doesn't want Amy to see the letter because he doesn't want the surprise to get spoiled or ruined. He doesn't want her to find out that he's inviting her to a party before he gets to mail the letter, because then it won't be a surprise anymore. They both ran for the letter. Oh my goodness. So it looks like Amy, maybe she sees the letter and she's trying to be helpful. She's trying to help Peter catch it. So she's running towards the letter and Peter's running towards the letter. I wonder what is going to happen when they both run at the letter at the same time. In his great hurry, Peter bumped into Amy. He caught the letter before she could see it was for her. All right, what do we see in this picture? I see, so Peter, he caught the letter, which is good. That's what he wanted. But look at Amy's face. She doesn't look very happy. She looks kind of mad. Because she just got knocked down onto the ground. And I don't think she knows why, because Peter didn't explain why. So she just probably feels really mad that he knocked her down. I think that I would probably feel mad if I got knocked down too. Quickly, he stuffed the letter into the mailbox. So he put it into the mailbox really fast and he looked for Amy, but she had run off crying. Oh, Amy. So you see, we can't really see her face, but it looks like she's covering her face, or wiping away some tears. Sometimes when I cry, sometimes I look like that, wiping away my tears. And she's crying, so that must mean that she's really sad. So first, she was a little bit mad right here. And then she got sad because her friend, she's friends with Peter, but then he hurt her feelings. So she ran away and she's feeling really sad. No, I'm sad because Amy's sad. Now she'll never come to my party, thought Peter. He saw his reflection in the street. It looked all mixed up. So this is Peter's reflection. This is Peter and this is Willie. And their reflection is this picture that's kind of coming back at them. So have you ever looked in a mirror or something shiny and then you could see your own face in that mirror? It's because you're seeing your reflection. It's an image of yourself or of other things that you can see on some surfaces, such as puddles when it is raining. So Peter looked at his reflection and he said it was all mixed up. And it looks kind of blurry right here. And I wonder if Peter's also feeling kind of mixed up on the inside, like he's confused or he's happy that he got the letter back in the mailbox, but maybe he's sad that he hurt Amy's feelings. So he's feeling a lot of mixed up emotions all at the same time, just like his reflection is mixed up. When Peter got back to his house, his mother asked, "Did you mail the letter?" "Yes," he said sadly. So Peter, he's still thinking about Amy. I think he didn't want to spoil the surprise for her about the party, but that meant that he accidentally hurt her feelings. So sometimes we hurt our friends' feelings even when we don't mean to, and it can make us feel bad because we don't want to hurt our friends, right? And if we see our friends are crying, maybe that makes us cry or makes us feel kind of sad too, like Peter. Saturday came at last, so it's the day of his birthday party. Everybody arrived except for Amy. Oh, look at Peter's face. How do you think he's feeling? I think that he's probably pretty sad or disappointed. He's disappointed because he wanted Amy to come and she isn't there yet. "Shall I bring the cake out now?" his mother asked. "Let's wait a little bit longer," said Peter. "Now, bring it out now," chanted the boys. So the boys, they're probably pretty hungry. I am frequently hungry a lot of the time. "All right," said Peter slowly, "bring it out now." So I think Peter probably wanted to wait until Amy came to bring out the cake, but he said, "Fine, bring it out now," because I don't think he thinks that she's coming, which makes him sad. Because remember, he said that she was a special friend, and he wants his special friend to be there. But just then, the door opened. In walked Amy with her parrot. So that looks like Amy, and she brought her parrot. Remember the parrot that was sitting in the window? And Eddie, I don't know which one of the friends is Eddie, but he says, "Oh my goodness, it's a girl." So maybe he's one of those boys that Peter was thinking about, who maybe he's never been to a party with a girl before, but that doesn't mean that girls and boys can't have fun at the same parties. And Amy, she says, "Happy birthday, Peter." I think that Amy must have gotten Peter's invitation. So he put it in the mail, and then the mailman took the letter to Amy's house, and then she was able to read the invitation. So it looked like it all worked out. Thank goodness, because Peter was really worried about that. I was really worried about that. And then the parrot says, "Happy birthday, Peter," because parrots can do this really cool thing. It's a special kind of bird where they can repeat some of the words that you say. So Amy said, "Happy birthday, Peter." And then the parrot repeated it. He said it again. He said, "Happy birthday, Peter." Peter's mother brought in the cake she had baked and lit the candles. So these are the candles. They're these wax things that you light on fire on a birthday cake. And everyone sang, and they probably sang the happy birthday song. "Make a wish," cried Amy. So some of his friends are saying, "Oh, wish for a truck full of ice cream." And then another friend said, "Wish for a store full of candy and no stomachache." But Peter made his own wish. He decided that what he wanted was different from what his friends told him to wish for. He made a wish that was something that he wanted really badly, and he blew out all the candles at once. So have you ever had a birthday cake and you made your wish, and then you went and you blew out all the candles. That's what Peter's doing. And he didn't tell us what he wished for. So I wonder what it is that Peter wished for. Maybe he wished for a toy, or maybe he wished for to be friends with Amy for a long, long time. He could wish for a lot of things. And sometimes when I make a wish on my birthday cake, I wish for really fun things like going to the park the next day with my friends, or sometimes I might wish for candy or something like that. So Peter probably wished for something really fun too. And I want to thank all of you for reading A Letter to Amy with me and learning about birthday invitations and letters and rainstorms. And thank you so much for joining me with this book. And I will see you the next time that we read together for Jumpstart.